Do you know why most men fail to make a woman chase them? It's not because she isn't interested, it's because they don't know the secret psychology behind attraction. A woman doesn't run after a man just because of his looks, his money, or his words. She chases the energy he gives off, the confidence, the mystery, and the value he brings to her life. Even when she seems uninterested, the right mindset and behavior can flip the script. Today, I will reveal these secrets to getting her to chase you, even when she's not showing it. Once you master this, you'll never have to beg for attention again, because she'll be the one chasing you. Value over validation is one of the most powerful psychological secrets when it comes to attraction. Because most men unknowingly give away their power by constantly seeking approval. When a man is always chasing compliments, texting too much, or begging for attention, he communicates that his worth depends on her response. This is the biggest mistake that pushes women away. Women are naturally drawn to men who are grounded in their own value. Men who do not need validation to feel complete. When you stop seeking approval, you instantly shift the dynamic. Instead of trying to impress her, you start impressing yourself. You focus on your growth, your goals, and your standards. Why women don't. Chase average. Men, this energy communicates silently but strongly that you are a man who knows his worth. Imagine two men. One sends constant messages, double texts, and gets nervous when she doesn't reply. The other man is calm, confident, and continues with his life even if she goes silent. Who will she feel curious about? The second man, because his self-worth is naughtied to her reaction. This is how value creates attraction. When you demonstrate that your time and attention are precious, she begins to realize she must earn them. The moment she feels she could lose your attention, her instincts trigger and she begins to chase. It's not manipulation. It's natural psychology. A woman doesn't want a man who puts her on a pedestal. She wants a man who stands strong on his own ground. Value over validation also means setting boundaries. If she tests you with disrespect, you don't argue or beg. You calmly pull back. If she ignores you, you don't panic. You continue with your life. This is how you silently show her that your world doesn't revolve around her approval. Women respect men who respect themselves. When you live by your principles, when you focus on your goals, when you show consistency in your actions, you radiate value, and value always pulls people in. Another powerful aspect of this principle is that when you stop seeking validation, your interactions become more authentic. Instead of saying things just to impress her, you speak your truth. Instead of pretending to be someone else, you show up as yourself. This authenticity creates comfort, trust, and eventually desire. Chasing validation feels needy. Radiating value feels magnetic. She will sense the difference without you saying a word. In relationships, value over validation is what keeps the spark alive. The man who loses himself to constant approval seeking becomes predictable, while the man who continues to grow, lead, and evolve keeps the woman intrigued. Even value over validation explained. If she wasn't initially interested, she begins to notice the difference between you and every other man who is desperate for her attention. That difference is your value. So remember, attraction is not about proving yourself. It's about owning yourself. The more you live with self-respect, confidence, and purpose, the less you will ever need external validation. And when that shift happens, she will feel it deeply and begin to chase you, even when she once seemed uninterested. Scarcity creates desire because human psychology is wired to value what is rare and difficult to obtain. When something is always available, it loses its appeal. When it is limited, people chase after it. The same principle applies to attraction. A man who is constantly available, who replies instantly, and who has no boundaries unknowingly communicates that his time and presence hold little value. On the other hand, a man who knows how to balance his attention, who is sometimes present and sometimes focused on his own priorities, triggers curiosity and pursuit. Women are naturally drawn to what they feel they cannot easily have, and when a man positions himself as scarce, he automatically becomes more desirable. Think about it this way. When a luxury brand limits the release of a product, people line up to buy it. Not necessarily because they need it, but because scarcity signals value. The same principle works in relationships. If you give away your attention without any filter, she takes it for granted. But when you make her work for your time, she values it more deeply. This doesn't mean playing games or pretending to be busy. It means genuinely having a life that is fulfilling with goals, hobbies, and commitments that matter to you. A man with purpose naturally creates scarcity because he is not always waiting around for her response. This type of scarcity doesn't push her away. Instead, it makes her realize that being with you is a privilege. Women also test men to see if they will break under pressure. If she ignores your messages, delays replies, or cancels plans, most men rush to prove themselves, begging for her attention. But a man who understands scarcity does not chase harder. He simply adjusts his energy, showing her that his world doesn't collapse when she pulls back. This calm detachment makes her rethink her actions and often pulls her back in. The truth is, when you are not desperate, you become attractive because you show that you have options, standards, and scarcity creates desire self-control. Another powerful aspect of scarcity is mystery. If she feels like she knows everything about you from the beginning, her curiosity fades. But if you reveal yourself slowly, letting her discover you layer by layer, she keeps chasing to understand you more. That mystery, combined with limited availability, creates a magnetic pull she cannot resist. When you master this balance, she starts investing effort, wondering about you, and even competing for your attention. Scarcity also makes your presence more impactful. When she finally gets your time, she cherishes it because it isn't something she receives every second. The moments you spend together feel special because they are not constant. It's not about ignoring her or being cold. It's about showing that you value yourself enough not to be available to everyone at every moment. That self-respect forces her to respect you, too. Ultimately, scarcity creates desire because it teaches her that your time, attention, and energy are treasures. The man who understands this doesn't need to beg for love. He naturally makes her chase even when she wasn't interested at first. Emotional impact is the hidden force that makes a woman chase a man because women are not drawn only to looks, status, or money. They are deeply moved by how a man makes them feel. A man who can create powerful emotions becomes unforgettable even if he is not the most attractive or wealthy. The truth is attraction fades if it lacks emotional depth. But when a man leaves a strong emotional imprint, a woman will crave his presence and even chase him when she once seemed uninterested. The reason is simple. Human beings are addicted to feelings, not facts. She might meet many men, but the one who makes her laugh, excites her, or challenges her thinking will always stand out. To create emotional impact, you need to break away from boring, predictable behavior. Most men think that being nice and agreeable will win a woman's heart, but that often backfires because it makes interactions flat and forgettable. Instead, a man should aim to awaken different emotions: curiosity, excitement, admiration, even a little tension at times. When your presence feels like an experience, she associates you with intensity and passion. That emotional roller coaster becomes addictive, and she begins to invest more energy in pursuing you. A key part of emotional impact is storytelling and communication. The way emotional impact that hooks her you talk, the energy in your voice, and the confidence in your words all influence how she feels. If your conversations are dry, she will lose interest. But if you speak with passion, humor, and intelligence, you stir her emotions. A man who can share his dreams with conviction or tell a funny story that makes her laugh until her stomach hurts is far more attractive than a man who only says what he thinks she wants to hear. Emotional impact isn't about perfection. It's about authenticity combined with emotional expression. Another powerful element is presence. When you are with her, are you fully engaged or are you distracted by your phone and your surroundings? A man who gives his undivided attention creates a sense of importance, and that feeling lingers with her even after you leave. She remembers how you made her feel seen, heard, and valued. That emotional connection becomes a reason for her to chase you again, because she doesn't get that level of presence from most men. Even playful teasing can create emotional sparks. When done with confidence and respect, teasing adds a layer of fun and unpredictability. That makes her look forward to being around you. Emotional variety is the spice of attraction. If she experiences laughter, curiosity, admiration, and even a touch of challenge when she's with you, she will crave those emotions again and again. Ultimately, emotional impact is about being memorable. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to create moments that she cannot forget. When you touch her emotions, you bypass logic and plant yourself in her memory. And once you leave that emotional imprint, she will chase you because the feelings you spark become irresistible. Purpose-driven confidence is one of the most magnetic qualities a man can have. And it is the reason women chase men who may not even try to impress them. Confidence by itself can be attractive, but when it is rooted in a strong sense of purpose, it becomes unshakable. A man with purpose knows where he is going in life, what he stands for, and what he is working toward. This makes him naturally grounded and focused, and that energy draws women in. Most men lose themselves trying to win approval, but the man with purpose doesn't need approval because his validation comes from within and from the mission he is pursuing. Women are wired to feel secure around such men because purpose signals strength, leadership, and direction. All qualities that inspire respect and purpose-driven confidence secrets attraction. A man without purpose often appears lost, needy, or easily influenced. He bends his personality to please others, especially women, and in the process haloses his individuality. This is why many men get ignored or taken for granted. On the other hand, a man with clear goals radiates confidence because his life is not centered on chasing people. It is centered on building something meaningful. Whether it is his career, his passions, or his personal growth, his focus gives him an aura of strength. This doesn't mean being arrogant or dismissive. It simply means he values his vision enough not to compromise it for temporary approval. When a woman meets such a man, she immediately senses the difference. She feels that his energy is rare because he doesn't rely on her attention to feel powerful. Instead, he is already fulfilled and moving forward, and this makes her want to be part of his journey. The man with purpose is not desperate because he knows his worth lies in his mission, not in being accepted. This self-assuredness is what creates the magnetic pull that makes her chase. Even if she wasn't initially interested, the aura of ambition and drive often flips her perception. Purpose-driven confidence also protects you from emotional instability. When a man has no direction, he overreacts to rejection, becomes insecure, or easily loses patience. But when you are guided by purpose, setbacks don't shake you. You see rejection as redirection and challenges as part of growth. This resilience makes you attractive because women admire men who stay composed under pressure. Your calmness shows strength, and strength inspires pursuit. Another powerful aspect is leadership. A man with purpose naturally takes charge of his life, makes decisions, and moves with clarity. He doesn't hesitate or live in doubt because his purpose gives him direction. This decisiveness is incredibly appealing because it provides a sense of security and certainty that women subconsciously seek. Instead of chasing, he leads and she follows that energy. In the end, purpose-driven confidence is about living authentically and intentionally. It's about standing firm in your goals, your vision, and your identity. When you live this way, you don't have to beg for attention because your life itself becomes magnetic. And this is when women chase, not because the power of mystery and unpredictability you ask them to, but because your purpose makes you unforgettable. Mystery and unpredictability are powerful forces in attraction because the human mind is wired to chase what it cannot fully understand. When everything about you is exposed too quickly, there is no curiosity left. And curiosity is what makes people invest. A woman who feels she has figured you out entirely will often lose interest because there is nothing left to discover. But when you carry an air of mystery, when you don't reveal every detail of your life, and when you remain slightly unpredictable in your actions, you keep her intrigued. That intrigue becomes the fuel that makes her chase because she wants to uncover more of who you are. Most men, in an attempt to impress, overshare. They tell their life story, their struggles, their plans, and their emotions within the first few conversations, hoping this will build closeness. But instead, it creates predictability. Predictability kills attraction because it gives no emotional thrill. Women are emotional beings, and they are drawn to excitement and the unknown. A man who can balance stability with a sense of unpredictability keeps her engaged because she doesn't know what's coming next. She wonders what he will do, how he will respond, and what new side of him she will discover. That curiosity makes her invest effort to stay connected. Mystery also means maintaining your individuality. You don't have to reveal every detail about your daily routine, your past relationships, or your deepest thoughts immediately. Let her earn the right to know more about you. When information is revealed gradually, it feels valuable. It creates a journey of discovery where each new detail strengthens her interest. A man who is mysterious is not hiding. He is simply selective. This selectiveness signals value because it shows you do not give access to everyone. The more she feels you are not fully available to the world or she wants to be the one to access the deeper layers of you. Unpredictability adds excitement. This doesn't mean playing childish games or being inconsistent in a toxic way. It means final advice from Sadia Khan: avoiding routines that make interactions boring. Sometimes you surprise her with your humor, sometimes with your knowledge, and sometimes with the way you handle situations differently than she expected. These small surprises keep her emotionally alert. And when she feels those emotional highs, she becomes hooked. Predictability makes her relax, but unpredictability makes her chase. Another aspect of mystery is silence. You don't always have to explain yourself or justify your actions. Sometimes letting things remain unsaid creates more impact than saying everything. Silence makes her wonder, and wondering is what keeps you on her mind. The less you reveal, the more her imagination fills the gaps. And imagination is often more powerful than reality. Closing motivation: ultimately, mystery and unpredictability keep you from becoming ordinary. You stand out because you are not fully accessible, not fully known, and not fully predictable. And when a woman feels she cannot easily have or fully understand you, she instinctively begins to chase. That chase is not forced. It is natural, driven by the irresistible pull of curiosity and emotional excitement.